and welcome to Math Long Distance Learning, West Ottawa Public Schools. I am Mrs. RITSEMA. I teach fourth grade at Great Lakes Elementary, and today we are going to start geometry, which is our last unit for the year. And it's one of my favorite to teach because it's so different than all of the other math units. So we're going to start today with a little review. You learned many of these terms in third grade. So I'm going to start with this mind-blowing word and term. This is a point. So whenever you see a dot, we're going to call that a point. And we can label a point with a letter, a capital letter. This is point A. This would be point Z. And also in geometry, just to note, we are always going to use capital letters as opposed to geometry or algebra where we were using all lowercase letters. So point, that's up here. Our goal today is to be able to identify the difference between a line segment, a ray, and an angle. All right, so we're going to be talking about these different terms and what they look like in the geometry world. So the first one is a line. And a line looks like this, but in geometry, it's going to have arrows on both sides because we know a line is a straight path that goes on forever and ever in both directions. So when you draw a line, those arrows are telling us that it goes on forever and ever in both directions, okay? Then we are going to label our lines with two letters. Any two letters, make sure they're uppercase. So I'm going to do JK. This is line JK. We can show it like this, and then we can also show it like this, or just line JK like that. Okay, so a line has arrows on both sides. Now a line segment, that looks like this. Do you notice a difference? Now, if we were in class, I'd say, what's the difference? So tell somebody or think out loud, what is the difference between a line and a line segment? I hope you heard something or said something like a line segment doesn't have the two arrows on the end. It has two, what we call endpoints. So these are two endpoints. Line segments are a part of a line. It has two ends, which are called endpoints. These segments are named by their endpoints. So here we have our S, for example. So this would be shown like this, a little baby line segment, RS. All right, sorry about that. So we have lines and line segments. Main difference, a line goes on forever and ever and ever. A line segment has two endpoints and is a portion, a segment or part of a line. Now, the next word we're going to talk about is array. And array is kind of like part of a line and part of a line segment. So here's array. Array, notice as I draw this, what do you notice? It is like a line segment because it has an endpoint, but it's also like a line because it has an arrow. So it starts at one particular spot and then will go on forever and ever. So we have line, goes on forever and ever, ends with two arrows. Line segment is a portion of a line, and has endpoints to say where it starts and stops. Then we have the ray, which is one endpoint with an arrow signifying that it goes on forever and ever. Now, my last one is one of my favorite ones because we're going to deal with these angles. So angles are actually two rays put together that meet at a vertex or a point. So here, I'm going to change this ray now